Hello, this is J183, and this is episode 2 of my specific Noob Journey season, but it is race 2 this week at the Singapore Grand Prix in the wet in qualifying this is. So, very, very interesting as Rickson and Chuckmaster have thrown a curveball at us because they told us it was going to be Mexico, although they've done that previously before, so we've sort of all learnt not to trust them now when it comes to tractor choices, but yeah. I just showed you the little clip of the advanced wheel settings, and I turned down my saturation for episode 1 because I've been running 100 throttle and brake saturation, which meant anytime I put like an inch on the throttle, the car just spun, which is probably why I was so awful in Spain, if you remember back to last time. So now you can see I'm sort of in control of my car quite often, which is also always a good start, so hopefully I can be on for a better result here. And this is my first running qualifying. It was in the wet, it was going to get drier into the session, so this is pretty much pointless anyway. But yeah, coming through sector 2, and I just about put too much power down there and spin out straight away for the first time of probably many. Although I'm better than I was in Spain, I'm still not very good at all. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. And this lap is basically not really competitive at all. I've already spun out and lost a heap of time there. And at the end of the run, I'm almost losing it. I almost lose it into the pit lane there. Managed to sneak it back onto track and then lose it even more. And I actually managed to invalidate my lap as I'm crossing the line there. So it was a 2:29, so it was awful anyway, but I invalidated as I crossed the line, which is a little bit annoying. And then the next lap I invalidated straight away at turn 1, so no point carrying on with that. And then at the end of the session it ended up being dry, so now I've turned down my saturation, it's actually really satisfying to drive with no assists, because you can actually catch slides and stuff, and it's pretty nice to drive. I mean, I didn't catch that one at all, but I'm already 4 tenths up, and that's just because the first runs were in the wet, obviously. So this is my best run in qualifying, which is you can just see how much more in control I am of my car than I was back in Spain. It's probably by now I would have spun out about 16 times. So yeah, pretty helpful that I'm improving at least. Mainly down to the throttle and brake saturation, as I've said. But yeah, it's pretty nice to be able to actually almost be competitive. I'm only a second off the pace of Diard, who's actually a bit too good for this league in my opinion. But yeah, 25 seconds up now into the final sector. I managed to not lose it underneath the stadium section. Seat quick shares on pole, as you probably would expect. I'm only 2 minutes left in the session, so wherever this puts me will probably be roughly where I'm finishing the session in. As it looks like it's going to be within the 2 minutes, so that's always a good start. I'm already 5 seconds now off T quick share, but almost lose it over the line. I do lose it over the line, hit the front wing very hard there. I'm surprised I didn't retire from that. There's a 152 dead, which isn't bad at all, and actually losing 8th place. So amazingly, I'm actually in the top 10. Last week I only beat one person. This week I'm actually reasonably high up for me, which I was very happy about, and it's nice to see that I'm actually improving. Plenty of people didn't set times just because they crashed or they got caught out, but then this is the race strategy, and you just saw a glimpse of it there. It's going to start off dry for half the race, and then start raining, and then get really heavy by the end. So it's very, very interesting to see what's going to happen. But obviously in the top 10 I've got start mode soft tyres. Here we go then, 5 red lights for the Singapore Grand Prix. Very long hold and lights out and away we go, and it's from 8th place on the grid. Respawn's got AI mode ahead of me, which is a bit odd because I'm not sure that's allowed, because AI drivers are very good. And yeah, a lot of ghosting happening. I'm not sure what's going on. The 2 Salvas and the 2 Bananas ahead of me are going side by side everywhere. I've got a Red Bull on the outside, and we've actually spun, so very disappointing there, as I've spun off I think that was Ben, who's also spun out ahead of me. But yeah, I'm not sure that was entirely my fault. I think he just went for a gap around the outside that wasn't really there. And annoyingly, I've got a legal overtake on it, even though he was spun around, so thanks for that game. But you know, legal overtakes, had to let him back through, which is pretty disappointing. But yeah, I'm not sure, I didn't really speak to him after the race, but it was sort of a racing incident, I think. It wasn't either of our faults that bad. And now Ben's actually almost lost it there, so have I, and so has Matt ahead of me. We've almost all go into the wall, and then Ben around the next corner does go into the wall actually, and I managed to take that position up into P11. So yeah, my aim is still just to get a point some point in the season. So if it's here, great. If it's not, then I'm not too bothered at all really. So at the end of lap 1, I'm still 11th place. I've actually taken slightly too much speed and lost the back end through the stadium section, and I'm now going backwards through the stadium section, but his Crackers goes through. Ben is there, the guy we've been racing quite a lot so far. Quadra FC and Respawn and the Salvas are about to go past as well, I think. They might not be in Salvas, that was a guess, but you know. So down to P14, and it's not gone well. From P8 to P14 off the grid on the end of lap 1, so not too good at all. And Charlie0432 has just crashed out ahead of me, so that is very nice to see. And I'm back up into P12. So points could be on the cards here. I reckon it's going to be a race of attrition, so if I can survive there's a high chance I'll probably get points. But surviving is a pretty difficult feat for me, as I'll probably just spin out everywhere. But now there's another car, Buttius Krakius has gone wide there onto the runoff area, and I'm up into 11th place now. I almost lose it myself, and I do lose it myself into the barrier, hit the same part of the front wing as I have already. So Corsa I've seen, and this Mercedes got past, as has Buttius Krakius again. So 2 positions gained on that lap, and then instantly losing both, as you would expect. So that back down to 13th now, unfortunately. Also running a wide, completely using track limits through sector 3, and hopefully I can keep it out the barriers under this section, as I haven't managed to do on the first lap of the race, but just about that time. And yeah, no, it's been alright. I'm still in the race, which is a good thing. Only 3 laps or 2 laps gone. I massively go wide there, hit the front wing, and that is the front wing completely gone now. Luckily it is reduced damage, so it shouldn't have too much of an effect. But yeah, front wing is completely gone, so unfortunately I've crashed quite heavily at the end of the first DRS straight, and now I'm going pretty cautiously through the next section. Corsa LC is retired from the session. He's in 12th place, just ahead of me. So I think on the minimap you can see his car beached in the wall there. There it is, with a wheel missing. So up into 12th, despite losing the front wing this lap. So yeah, it's been pretty good. If I can just survive for the rest of the race, then I reckon points will be on the cards. His Buttius Krakius going very slowly. He almost weaves on me there, so I have to take evasive action, go to the inside. But my rear tyres are completely shot now, so it's pretty difficult to keep control of the car. And me and Buttius Krakius are going to go side by side. The first proper bit of racing I've actually had in this series. Defending the inside line into the Singapore turn 5, and he actually goes really wide, as do I. So, as you'd expect, the first proper bit of racing ends up with us both missing the braking point and going straight on. So, sort of as you would expect in the noob journey, we are all noobs. So, P11, I'm actually spun out. I don't even know how I've spun out there. But yeah, I've gone again. Respawn looks like it's going to get past me if I don't keep it in a straight line through the next section. But yeah, I'm P11 and my teammate is just 14 seconds up the road. Respawns the next car behind in his Sauber. Hopefully I can get through the next part of the track with ease, but that might be a bit too much to ask for. And through the Singapore sling section, taking it very, very cautiously, just making sure to keep it out the barriers really. So got the Sauber respawn right behind me, put me under a lot of pressure. I might just have to let him go because I'd rather not crash into him. But then I almost lose. I could have lost the wheel there quite easily. Like very lucky it's reduced damage there. But yeah, pretty scary moment there. Respawn did get through there, but I crashed into the wall quite heavily there, and it could have easily been a wheel gone right then. So down to 12th, which is not too bad compared to what could have been. But yeah, through the next section, I lock up the front right actually quite heavily, and the wheels are gone, so we are now out of the race. Which
honestly, what are we doing? Racing or ping pong?
So out of the noob journey, and that is pretty annoying to say the least, because I was actually running quite well, in control of the car quite a lot. So yeah, they're the results, and as you'd expect, Diehard Fan won, and then I think there were only 6 finishes if I'm right, I think. So yeah, pretty disappointing for everyone who crashed out, but I'd still say this has been an improvement on Spain. So even though I actually finished Spain, I'd say I was much more competitive in this Singapore Grand Prix. So yeah, leave a like on this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more. This has been JO83, and I will see you next time.